Well, hello, my soul friends. How are you doing? How are you feeling? What's happening? This is Victoria on the Soul Nurture channel, and truly, my heart's desire in this channel, for you, for us, is for when you see me pop up a video, let it be a call for you to pause. And if you can, get a cup of tea, get a glass of water, whatever your favorite beverage is, and sit down with me. But really, sit down with you. Sit down to connect with you, pause, and hopefully, what I offer will speak to you in a way that inspires you, reminds you, recalls you to something important in your life, and mostly, may what I share help you in reclaiming your beautiful soul potential. Okay, so that's what this channel is about. Have been on a spiritual transformational journey probably my whole life. I mean, truly, I have memories of being a child and, doing some soul gazing in a mirror. And, but anyway, professionally, before I go way off on a tangent, professionally, I studied psychology, was drawn into hypnotherapy, became a transformational hypnotherapist, became a spiritual Jungian-based spiritual director quite recently, but it was that training through Hayden Institute kind of wove together, or it was sort of like the basket that helped me hold all the many modalities I've collected in my desire to be of service and support to others and myself, and the potential that God has placed within all of us. Okay, so welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, I have to do the little commercial. And I was thinking about it. I was driving this morning and I'm like, I don't want to beg people to subscribe to my channel. Instead, so I'm not going to say subscribe. I'm not going to declare anything. I'm not going to insist on anything because I don't want you to feel obligated. Rather, I invite you to sit with me for a little bit or watch some of my other videos. And if you feel soul resonance with me, then subscribe, okay? So, all right, I'm going to talk about, we are in Virgo season today on August 23rd, and it is the start of Mercury Retrograde. Are you noticing it? So, as I invite you to pause before I launch into what I have to share with you today, got these little gnats. I've been buying a lot of pineapples, and I guess they're fruit flies, and they're everywhere. So how do they get into your house? Do they come in the pineapple and then they show up, or how do they know to show up? That's always, I don't know. Okay, back on track, which is all about Virgo. We're in Virgo season today, and Mercury is retrograding today. I'm going to get to retrograde in just a moment. Mostly, I just want to focus on the season of Virgo. And I want to wish all of my Virgo friends out there happy birthday season, happy solar return. And when I'm talking about in just a moment about the archetypal expression of Virgo, I would love for you to chime in and say, yes, I resonate with that. I'm a Virgo, or you have your moon in Virgo, or you have your rising in Virgo, or you have your North Node in Virgo, or your North Node is in the 6th house like mine is. And I realized that today when I was thinking about Virgo energy and how hard I can be on myself and how much it feels like I could always want to do more. I'm always calling to do more. This is Virgo energy, the servant. Virgo energy is all about service, and it's connected to the healer archetype, right? So I'm going to get into that a little bit more. Also, if this is your first time viewing, do let me know in the comments where you're viewing from. I love all the comments, and I do love all of the emails I've been getting. And yes, I am still offering a 20-minute consultation, which initially was offered as a way to sort of meet people and see where they're at and see what tools I have to support you on your journey of unfolding and transformation and healing. But so many people are drawn to wanting to understand their own soul chart, which a soul chart, yes, is an astrology chart I call it a soul chart because I believe Creator sends us here with information. Like it's not just like, okay, good luck out there. I believe that when I look at a chart, and the reason I call it a soul chart is that I am given access to the person's soul map when I'm sitting with them or through Zoom. And it's just such a beautiful experience to connect with someone and help them be seen. And so people have been saying, well, can you look at my chart? And so it's a real quick 20 minutes, top of the trees, but they're really fun. And I love it because I have been connecting with people all over the world, really. Well, mostly the country, different parts of the country. I'm in Washington State in the USA, but I also have had the pleasure of connecting with people in different parts of the world. So I'm going to keep offering them for now because I love them. I love the little moments of connecting and interacting. And if you have had a consult with me and you feel comfortable, do comment about what that was like for you. Or if you've had a session with me, also comment so people can get a sense of what I'm offering here. It's my passion, it's my purpose, and I love it. And it's my honor to support you. Okay, so what's happening? What did you notice when you woke up today? First of all, the weather changed where I am. Yesterday it rained. Today it felt like fall. It's kind of like there's a hint of fall in the air, a little cooler. And I noticed I had a little bit of a struggle getting up from my bike ride this morning, but I also noticed, and I'm curious what you noticed before I launch into what possibly may be happening now at this time. I also noticed this to-do list running through my head, and it felt like, okay, all right, Victoria, get back to work. I mean, I never not work. I have a Capricorn rising, but it was more like a seriousness, like summer playtime's over. Back to work, back to school, time to roll up your sleeves. Anyone else feel this? This is Virgo season. This is where, even though technically we're still in summer, and not until the vernal equinox when the sun goes into Libra, will we be in fall. I said vernal, I meant autumn. Well, Mars is opposite Neptune today, so this is also, I noticed fuzzy with dates and what day is it? Scheduling people has been really interesting. I had over I think close to 20 people around the same time want a 20-minute consult or sessions from people I've never worked with before. So I got a little confused in scheduling. So that's also going on. Mars opposite Neptune today. But I'm talking specifically about what you're noticing about Virgo. What is Virgo like? What is the energy of Virgo? And of course, Mercury retrograding in Virgo. I noticed that we were in the pre-shadow and things were already getting wonky, having some computer issues, having clients not able to access their Zoom all of a sudden. And I was like, okay, hello, Trickster Mercury, here we go. But I'm going to talk about how Mercury retrograde is actually a really beautiful gift. And remember also, we're still in Venus retrograde, which has been a time of reviewing and recognizing all the RE words, what's going on with our love, with all things Venus, our love life, what we value, our money. So we've been reviewing that, and now here comes Mercury to the party. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. Okay, so I do want to encourage you to write down in the comments what you're noticing, what you're feeling. The reason why is when you are watching someone like me, don't take what I'm saying like 100% absolute. I am offering possibilities, just like the weather. It may rain tomorrow. That is what, to me, astrology is. It's an extension of nature out into the celestial sky where, like I may notice, it's cloudy, it might rain. Oh, I noticed that, the moon is in Scorpio today and there may be some intensity. I noticed that the sun is now in Virgo and there may be more of a take your life serious, get real, time to tidy up our lives kind of a feeling, right? So what is Virgo? Virgo, or what are the characteristics of Virgo? Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and this is why it's kind of a double whammy that it's Virgo season and Mercury's in Virgo. So the retrograde, all things Virgo, especially where the retrograde is happening in your chart. Remember, you may say, I don't have anything to do with Virgo. I don't have a Virgo planet. Well, you do have Virgo somewhere in your house system, in your natal chart. So if you don't know what that is, this is where I could possibly offer you a consultation. We could just peek right there and say, what's going on? What are you being invited to review, reassess, redo, reclaim, and all things Virgo, right? So it is an earth sign. It is mutable, which means changeable, so we may be changing things up at this time. We may be grounding in what's practical and what matters most. It rules the sixth house of a natal chart. As I mentioned, my north node is in the sixth house, which, I can't escape it. And I'm still, if you know anything about the north node, south node, north node, the journey is from your south node to your north node. So my south node is in the 12th house, all things spirit, and by the way, the axis of Virgo is Virgo Pisces, right? So Virgo Pisces axis is like, my journey was to come down from the mountain and meditating so much and being just in spirit and come into the physical and come into the practical. And this is what this season is about, okay, how's your life? How are you taking care of the details of your life? What are you noticing that you maybe avoided and you can't help but notice it? Because Virgo notices everything, all the details, everything that's not working. But the energy of Virgo is also, let's find a solution. Let's work on this, okay? So it is a feminine sign. The glyph for Virgo, I love the glyphs with astrology. I love because it's symbolism, right? It symbolizes the virgin or maiden carrying a shaft of wheat. So Virgo is also connected. The mythology surrounding Virgo is connected to Demeter, Persephone's mother, right? So it's about harvest. It's about all things nurturing, growing potential. It reminds me a lot of Cancer, but in a more practical way. Virgo is like the mentor, the teacher, and the healer, okay? So during Virgo season, what we may notice, and again, all possibilities, you're unique, your journey is unique, your faith is unique, how you connect to your soul is unique. Just if anything resonates, just know you were maybe meant to have that reminder through me for you, okay? So you may notice that you're starting to get more hyper focused on the details of your life, things you've avoided. You may have that urge to purge and clear and clean, very much Virgo, and organizing. Not only organizing, but like the deep clean, like, okay, I gotta move the refrigerator and do all that and clean the oven and deeply get in the nooks and crannies of things I've avoided in your house, in your organizational methods, and with your health, okay? So the thing to be mindful of with the Virgo energy, we hear often that Virgos can be very critical, and it's true. That's that, there's, as I make the distinction, we're either operating from our wounded selves or our empowered selves. Or another distinction is a soul having a human experience. And in our human experience is where we are wounded, and where our soul wisdom that is meant to navigate and guide us forward can be clouded or shrouded, right? So this is the time to clear anything that's in the way of really connecting more to your soul. So the critical energy, if you've ever been around a Virgo that's very critical, they're in their wound. If you're a Virgo and you're super critical of yourself or others, you're in your wound. When you connect to your soul and do some healing, you're empowered. You're an empowered Virgo. And we want to utilize this energy of this time as from an empowered way. So you may notice when criticism comes, shift it to discernment. What am I meant to know? What am I meant to pay attention to? What am I meant to do? And the way we can get into discernment is borrow some of the energy across the axis from Pisces, which is compassion. Be compassionate, be gentle. Okay. So just trying to move this down without getting too far ahead of myself. Okay. I do like to make this distinction whenever I'm working with a client, and this applies for me too, and I see a strong sixth house, sun's in the sixth house, or North Node like me, or Virgo, or a lot of empathic signatures in the chart, I will remind my clients that there's a difference between service and sacrifice, because Virgo energy is so much about wanting to help and do more, and the shadow side of Virgo can be perfectionism and workaholism and just, getting pulled, I think, from the wound to offset the pain, instead of from the gift of giving from the overflow, the ability to be of service and not sacrifice. Okay. I already mentioned practicing compassion, and to accept and acknowledge that we are all perfectly imperfect. We're here to practice, and practice is a good word that helps us step away from perfection. I like to say, I came up with a quote for dealing with the idea of perfectionism, and it is this, and I really want you to get this and see where it applies for you. Perfection is an illusion that prevents you from fulfilling your potential and purpose. Did you get that? Perfection is an illusion, meaning it's not even possible. It's not even, there's no way. There's no one is perfect. We'll never be perfect. Make peace with that. But when we're in that kind of mindset of it has to be better, it has to be perfect, or holding yourself back, or fear of putting yourself forward, believe me, I understand. That's why straight away when I started these videos, I was like, hey people, I am not going to try to be perfect. It's not possible. And on top of that, I'm going to let myself make mistakes and show up imperfectly. I'm not going to edit because, I want to get away from the myth of perfection. Okay. So where has the feeling of perfectionism prevented you from accessing your potential or connecting to your purpose? Okay. So this Virgo season may bring up, remember, things, we get shown what needs to be healed. It's revealed, and then we need to heal it, right? So you may notice where you've been too hard on yourself in certain areas of your life. And now's the time to say, I'm going to wrap some compassion around me, and I'm going to create some routines and rituals. This is very much Virgo, that will support your desires. Okay. Again, organizing, setting yourself up with some very supportive goals for your health. Maybe you start drinking more water. Maybe you start taking that daily walk. Maybe, and the other thing about Virgo, it's to keep it simple. Simplify. What do you really need to take care of you? Okay. All right. So let's go back to my notes a little bit. Any questions so far? I wish I could be live with you, but seems like when I have time to go live, nobody's with me. So we'll pretend we're live and just write your questions, and I promise I will get back to you. Okay. So what about Virgo? What my Virgo soul friends out there, what do you notice about yourself? Well, I already mentioned the striving for perfection. Virgos are also connected to purity and practical, detail-oriented, logical, good at analysis. They're the editors. They're the engineers that want to tinker with things and figure it out. They're great at finding the problem, and that's just a gift, right? And also connected to health again, and body wisdom. So this is a good time, again, it's like kids are going back to school. We're going back to school in a way to review, especially with the Mercury Retrograde, which I'm going to bounce into right now because time is ticking. where we can do better, right? I really want you to get this, what I believe anyway, and if it resonates, great, that we are truly divinely supported. And when we follow the celestial weather and we look at symbolically, remember this is symbolic, it's not literal, symbolic feedback, whether you think it's from your soul, from God, however you connect, but this guidance that helps us. So there's no bad thing in astrology. There's, Mercury retrogrades get a bad rap, not bad. Virgos get a bad rap for being perfectionists, not bad, purposeful. Okay. So let's see if there's anything else I wanted to say. Good time to revisit your diet, your nutrition, to integrate or implement practice. Remember, practice makes progress. There's no perfection, but progress. To implement some wonderful routines that feel supportive to your potential, to your life. Okay. And let's see. Okay, I think I said enough about Virgo. If I missed something, Virgo, that you want people to be aware of, be proud of, yes, I'm a Virgo and I love this part about me, share it with us, okay? All right. So Virgo retrograde, Mercury in Virgo retrograde. So first of all, have you noticed any wonky things with Mercury retrograde yet? Have you noticed like suddenly your engine light goes on, you don't know why, or something's going on with your computer? Again, this is purposeful. It's helpful. And the image that came to me this morning when I was thinking about Mercury retrograde, I was thinking about like you're about to go on a trip and you're rushing and you're throwing everything in the car and then you drive off and then you go, oh, shoot, did I lock the doors? Oh, wait, did I remember to pack the thing I needed to bring? Oh, gosh. And then you don't know and you're in doubt. So you turn the car around, you go back home, and you're forced to revisit, review, slow down, get your ducks in a row, whatever that means. I don't know what it means. Do you? These sayings that we have. I probably will look it up later and say, where did that come from? Why do we say that? Anyway, that's just me. If you know, put it in the comments. Why do we say ducks in a row? Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Retrograde, whatever, mostly, Mercury retrograde and Venus, but big retrograde energy. And we're going to have 7 planets in retrograde. And I'm not sure if it's happening right now. Let me see. Retrogrades are natural. They happen. Mercury goes retrograde 3 to 4 times a year. It happens. It's not like this horrible thing that people make it out to be. Let me see something. What do we got here? Let's see. Sorry, I have to peek at the chart and it's way over here. So Mercury, Venus, Saturn, sorry. What else is in retrograde? Pluto. So there's a lot of retrograde, right? Of course, the planets that are further away are not really impacting us as much as Mercury and Venus because they're closer to us, right? So this retrograde energy is slow down, practice patience. When something happens, instead of freaking out about it, like, okay, earlier today, I brought out my rose water in a little bottle. I was going to, I usually anoint myself before I do a video, to tell you the truth. I do this little ritual. I have a ritual. And I put it too close to the edge of the counter and it fell and broke. It's one of my favorite bottles of rose oil. But did I freak out? I did not. So what happens is sometimes if we're too rushed, too overwhelmed already, these little things that come with information and support, we override it and we start to maybe berate ourselves instead of just saying, okay, Virgo, what is this teaching me? And so I had this moment of insight, like, oh yeah, you wanted to consolidate all of your oils. In other words, I guess it's called Mary. I remember years ago being a waitress, we take the ketchup bottles and put the one with a little bit left and the other bottle that was more full. So I was going to take the rose oil and put it in another bottle, and I didn't do that. So what happened is the bottle broke today. So in that moment, I had this flash of, okay, reviewing what you knew would be better to do, but you didn't do it. Okay, lesson learned. So it's the slowing down that allows us to catch the lesson, to receive an invitation to do something better going forward. Okay, so just wanted to say that. So what else do we have with Mercury retrograde? To me, it's positive, but because Mercury is rules Virgo, it is a little bit more noticeable, I think. Sometimes Mercury retrogrades in different signs. I don't even notice it. This one I'm noticing it because, again, Virgo's connected to communication. So be really careful with what you're saying. Ask people, especially your partner, especially with Venus in retrograde too, to say, can you tell me what you heard me say? Okay. Or even, so it's practicing compassionate communication or reflective listening. So also you can practice this way. If your partner tells you something, or your boss tells you something, or your friend tells you something, especially when it comes to some details, like you're creating a plan and, oh, will you do this and I'll do this? And okay, you want to pause, slow down and say, okay, let me repeat what I think I heard you say. Okay. And then you want to have agreement on that. Okay. So communication, important. Slow down. There may be some misunderstandings. There may be a time now where you're reviewing a misunderstanding you had in the past and it's time to revisit it, right? So all the RE words, my number one RE word for the season is to take RE, responsibility for your life. No, it's your life. Who are you waiting for to come take care of the details of your life? I know we all at some level have this fantasy because it's wired into us as kids that someone's going to come and take care of us, when that someone is the person looking at you in the mirror. Okay, so review, it's a good time. I started doing this morning. I get so many emails and my phone is constantly full. Anybody else have that? Like your memory is full? Good time to clear out your computers, your old files, to take the pictures on your phone and put them somewhere that you can save them, and then delete them from your phone to free the space. And symbolically, as we're doing this purging and cleansing and clearing and getting organized, we're freeing the space for our potential and for things that matter to us. Okay? Instead of being mired in the details, take responsibility for the details so that you have more freedom to flow with your life. Okay? Reclaim potential. I think I already said this. This is a really important one that's big for me right now. Maybe you too. Revisit your unfinished projects. What maybe during the summer you got busy with a lot of, friends visiting, doing this, doing that, and the things that were calling to you, you put on the shelf. Time to revisit those, right? To remember, what you were called to do that you put aside. So revisit that. So the way to navigate the Mercury retrograde, again, is to cultivate compassion, patience, willingness to learn what's showing up, and to be gentle. Like, oh shoot, the engine light's on, I forgot I was gonna take the car in. It's okay. Check the oil, check the tires, check the things, review everything, and take some responsible action for it. Okay. I already shared that with you, my little image that came about the trip and having to turn around. I think I have everything I wanted to say. Some other, just to wrap it up, because it's not only Virgo season with the Mercury in Virgo retrograde, these are places to look. Actually, let's do this. I don't normally do this. Do I have time? I've got a few minutes. Let me just do a whip around the chart. So if Mercury is retrograding, let me just go to the chart so I could just have a visual. Sorry. Oh, I said sorry. I'm practicing not saying sorry. I'm trying to say thank you instead of sorry. Okay, so let's go here. If Mercury is retrograding in your first house, how do you navigate that? Well, the first house is all about you, right? So you may be reviewing how your identity and what you need to personally practice to support. It's working on yourself. I guess that's it. Working on yourself, checking in, doing some inner work, refining your presentation. Our ascendant, our first house is how we present to the world. So there may be some reviewing. Maybe you're going to do a little clear out your closet and get clear on the clothes that fit and the clothes that don't. Let them go. Okay. And if it's in your second house, that would be that's the money house, right? What we value, how we're doing with money. So this is a perfect time to do a budget, to finally take all those bills out that you haven't looked at, or open up all your mail and create a system to look at your money and take responsibility for what you're spending and what you need to earn, all the things money, and also how you're valuing yourself, right? If it's happening in your third house, this is communication. So I touched on that. Good time to practice nonviolent communication, which is also called compassionate communication. It's time to review how you're communicating and to slow down when you're typing the emails or even a text. I'm really notoriously bad at this. I verbal text and send it and don't even look at it. And sometimes I'm like, what in the world did I just send? So slow down, review your messages before you send them, and before you say them, take a pause. And also remember, you can also say, let me redo that. I don't like how that came out. What I meant to say was more along these lines, and then do a retake. Okay. Fourth house, that's home and our foundation. And if Mercury retrograde in Virgo is happening in your fourth house, meaning your fourth house is ruled by Virgo, or Virgo is in your fourth house, if you follow Placidus, which is what I do. So this is bringing up maybe some unexpected stuff with your home, or a time to review all the foundations of your home, especially if you're a homeowner, checking all the electrical stuff and the plumbing and things that maybe you've put off in terms of maintenance for your home. It's also a time where you can do some deeper healing with ancestral work, because Virgo is healing and we're reviewing. So that would also be applicable there. Fifth house is our creative expression and how we love. And so this is another place to, thinking about responsibility, take responsibility for how you're expressing creatively. Maybe it's a time to review, if you wanted to write or paint or do something creative, but you talked yourself out of it, time to bring that out again. It also is a time to maybe set up a system for your creative expression. Maybe you go and buy some paints and organize them for you. It's also connected to our inner child. So setting up a routine that supports your inner child and reviewing your relationship with your children and your inner child. Okay. I've never done this. Have I done this yet? I don't think so, because it's kind of time consuming, but maybe some people will like this. Okay. Mercury retrograde in the sixth house, health, service, work, details of your life. So pretty much everything I said at the beginning of this video, that's sixth house. Okay. So what do you want to review with your health? What new routine do you want to set up for your health? Okay. Seventh house. Do you know the seventh house is? Relationships, not just intimate relationships, but partnerships, who you're partnering with. It could be a business partner, but it could be relationships. So this is a time to slow down and still, again, like the third house, have the clear communications. You may be reviewing, especially because Venus is in retrograde, what hasn't been working in your relationships that you've been avoiding, but now Virgo is bringing to your attention. And not that you may feel like, I'm being nitpicky on this issue, but it's an issue you've put off for so long, and you're done with it, and you need to have that conversation about it. And so let's see, anything else? Seventh house, just looking at the chart. Maybe old disagreements in relationships will come up to be reviewed. Maybe there's somebody from your past relationship. You had a disagreement and it's like, we need to reset that. Okay. So that might be coming up, but let's look at the eighth house. This is where it's landing in my chart, which is the house of transformation. It's the house of deeper intimacy too, sexuality. So, I wonder what I'm going to be reviewing. um, so, this is where we might be reviewing being present to what we've hidden in the shadows and that we need to take a look at, take responsibility for, and connected to other people's resources too. So, reviewing all things eighth house, for me, it's connecting to the shadow and it's connecting to a deeper opportunity for transformation. Okay, ninth house. Ninth house is it's our higher philosophy. It is connected to spirituality. It's connected to travel. Even though they say don't travel or don't make travel plans when it's a Mercury retrograde, you may be wanting to go on a trip or you're planning it, but you're slowly and methodically planning it. You're checking all the details, or you're thinking about something that you wanted to learn a long time ago, take a class, and you put it off. And so that class comes up again and you have an opportunity to say, you know what, I really want to take the time to learn that. The other thing about Virgo energy, it's like crafts and getting to the details of something. So whatever you're drawn to, ninth house is, your belief system, philosophy, a higher study, a higher form of studying. You may, or it's connected to foreign languages too, or foreign travel. So you may want to learn a foreign language that you tried studying when you were younger and you put it off. So it's returning to all things ninth house, revisiting your belief system and where you'd like to travel in the future. And it's usually foreign travel. Okay. 10th house is our career. So Mercury retrograde in your 10th house is what's up for review is your career. How are you, and it's where we take how we step forward in public, where the spotlight is on us. So what are your goals that you need to review connected to your career? It's like getting to having to fine tune the steps towards achieving what's possible for you, reviewing how you've been approaching it and trying something different. Okay. Especially if you feel stuck in career, it's a perfect time to review. How am I showing up for work? What is this really my calling? What is really calling to me? And you may feel some delays or setbacks, but it's only to give you that higher perspective of what's possible moving forward. Okay, 11th house is our community, and it is connected to our dreams, our wishes, and future, our visioning. So this is a time to review your vision. Is it still speaking to who you are, your soul? Is it authentically you, or is it an old vision that's kind of run out of gas? It's a time to revisit with some old friends that you've lost touch with, and also review like the groups you're involved with and get particular. Are the things you're saying yes to in terms of group involvement, are they feeding your soul? Are they building your potential towards where you want to go? Then it's a time to assess that. Okay, I'm running out of time, so let's get to the 12th house. 12th house is the house of the mystic. It's connected to dreams and the unconscious and hidden secrets. So Mercury transiting your 12th house is, first of all, really spend time with your dreams, your night dreams and your day dreams, but pay attention to what the dream maker is bringing for you in the nighttime and to catch them. And so this is, I saw just an image, put out your journal by your bed with a pen so that you want to catch your dreams during this time. You want to see what your soul, catch what your soul is trying to reveal for you through your dreams, that it's going to help you navigate moving forward. The 12th house, whatever planets are going through the 12th house transiting, are preparing you to begin again. It's the end of the cycle. So reviewing old dreams, old issues that you haven't dealt with and you've kept them secret, bring them to your awareness, get some support if you need it. It's also revisiting your time of devotion and time with the divine, setting up a ritual of meditation. And I think that's it. Okay. All right. Well, that was fun. I've never done that before. Let me know if that worked for you. Of course, if you don't know what house this transit is happening, reach out for that 20-minute consultation. My website will be in the description. So thanks for being with me, and I hope that there was something helpful. See, I always say that, right? North Node in Cancer in the 6th house. My soul wants to support your soul, and I hope today I did. Thank you so much for being with me. Take good care of your soul and your beautiful soul potential. Until next time, in the next video. Oh, that's what I wanted to say before I wrap up. Please help me decide what topics to bring. I've got a plethora of things I could talk about, but what's on your heart and mind? I talk a lot about relationships. I talk a lot about soul potential, envisioning, patterns and behaviors. What topic would you like me to talk about? Please comment with that or send me an email at thesoulnurturer@gmail.com, and or you can visit my website and send me a message through that, victoriajazwick.com. Okay, because I always want to bring topics other than just the astrology, which I love bringing because it's fun for me to continue to learn and grow, and so many of you are connected there. But every other week I want to do a transformational or supportive soul nurturing video, and I kind of get stuck sometimes. But next time I will be back next week for the blue moon in Pisces. So I'll see you then. Take good care, and thanks for being with me. I'm so honored. Take good care. See you soon. Bye.